All right, well, it looks like Joe Biden is likely going to be the nominee for the Democrats. Bernie Sanders is still in there, but I just don't see him pulling out a win, especially after his losses this past Super Tuesday. So good luck to the Democrats. They are going to seriously need it. The guy they seem to be picking can barely string a sentence together. Despite the fact that I won't be voting for Trump or Biden, obviously, I still am excited to watch the debates later this year for purely entertainment purposes. Donald Trump is just going to wipe the floor with Biden. It's going to be a pummeling, and it's going to be ugly. Trump can actually be articulate. He can actually be quick on his feet. He's a bit nutty when he goes off script, but in the big picture, he speaks well, and he can really rally his base, and he's also very good at figuring out people's weaknesses and exploiting those weaknesses. He's very adept at picking away at someone. He did it for a living for quite a long time. And although some of it is certainly juvenile, his name-calling and the insults he slings around, it's certainly childish, but it is effective. Joe Biden is just not going to be able to handle it, especially considering the fact that in just the past 3 or 4 months, Joe Biden has produced ample ammunition for Donald Trump to use against him. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that Joe Biden said, quote, "You're the ones who sent Barack Obama the presidency, and I have a simple proposition here. I'm going to ask you for your help. Where I come from, you don't go very far unless you ask. My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. Look me over. If you like what you see, help out. If not, vote for the other Biden. Give me a look, though, okay?" All right, well, that was an insane, incoherent ramble, and he's not running for the Senate. And there is no other Biden that I'm aware of, so this is not the type of stuff that wins the presidency. Or how about when Joe Biden said the Parkland students came to see him when he was vice president, despite the fact that the Parkland shooting was a year after he left office? I don't know if he is lying. He could be, but I'm not sure. I really think Biden is just confused about where he is or when things happened and what he's doing at almost all times. He's just not up to snuff for campaigning for the presidency. So given all this, for the life of me, despite the fact that I would never support her, I cannot figure out why Tulsi Gabbard wasn't more popular. And I'm just wondering if there was something I missed. And I ask that sincerely because I must have missed something. She was crazy on domestic issues, but not any more crazy than anyone else. She didn't seem to have the history of corruption and dishonesty that the other candidates had. She was actually reasonable when it came to foreign policy. Again, this is all relatively speaking in regard to the other candidates. She seemed to have a good head on her shoulders. She could speak well and seemed to resonate well with people. She came across as an actual adult, and I think she would have stood up against Trump far better than any other candidate would have. I'm just sort of scratching my head wondering why she at least didn't do better than what she did. But in any case, seems like Joe Biden is the guy now, so here's what needs to happen for him to have a shot. First off, the economy needs to collapse, which could happen. We've got multiple huge bubbles going on right now. It's well within the realm of possibility that the stock market keeps tanking and unemployment rises. Our economy, after all, is largely based on arbitrary actions taken by the Fed. We've got a bubble economy, pure and simple, and it could collapse by election time, and that would help Biden quite a bit. Trump could screw up his chances by going into a stupid new war, but I'm not sure that'll happen. I've only been able to read the headlines about our pulling out of Afghanistan. I've been kind of busy. I haven't been able to really read into it any more than just the headlines. But if that's true and that happens and we leave Afghanistan, that would make Trump far more popular, far more re-electable, and it would be a serious challenge and a serious roadblock for Joe Biden. But, you know, none of these things can be controlled by Joe Biden. But one thing that he can at least try and control is being prepared and really focus on not messing up every sentence he utters. He's got to get his ducks in a row, and he needs to realize that one of his biggest weaknesses is speaking off the cuff. The guy just can't do it. He cannot pull it together when he's speaking extemporaneously. He needs to avoid that at all costs, because every time it happens, Trump probably just smiles, writes down what he said, and then he likely will just make sure that he gets to bring it up every chance he gets, and that's going to ruin Joe Biden. So anyway, since obviously this is a libertarian channel, I need to say that despite everything I've said, the real takeaway is that we're screwed either way. But that's all for now. Please like, subscribe, and share, and take it easy.